Alright, so let's open this bad boy up. By the way, just to let you guys know, this might actually be a pre-shipping edition of this. I kind of like stole this from the guys at MSI and ran out the frickin' door. Oh, it's Rajiv! Oh my boy back, Doc! Oh my god, I've been caught! Hey, what's up everybody? Happy holidays! Here once again with us, we have our special guest Rajiv, welcoming us from the North Pole. Santa dropped him off down my chimney yesterday. He cleaned off quite nicely, as you can see. So what we got for you today is we've got a nice unboxing of a new Sandy Bridge product. So what we're going to do today is the P67A-GD65. Show you this number here real quick. This is the front of the box of the motherboard. Now, Rajiv is going to be kind enough and go over all the parts and what's in this boxing. So I'm going to hand this over to Rajiv, and he's going to actually show you what comes in his box. So Rajiv, here's your Christmas present.
Oh,
Merry Christmas, and
absolutely.
Let's see this unboxing. So.
All right, hey everybody. So just quickly, the box, you'll notice right off the bat,
it's made of cardboard.
There's a huge logo with Military Class 2. And Military Class 2 is kind of a new build initiative that we're doing, which just means better build quality by using higher grade components. And these components meet with a military certification to provide the best, stability for voltage and thermal. We also have OC-Genie 2, which is our comprehensive one-touch overclock. And you'll also notice the USB 3 and SATA 6. We do have 4 of each.
And there'll be a lot of products coming in after CES this year that actually take advantage of these new features.
Absolutely. And also, you'll notice on all of our boards now is a big sticker reminding you that we do have a 3-year warranty. So just kind of going around the back, you'll see a bunch of cool features with a breakdown. We have so many features on this board that it's quite extensive.
Yeah, we'll cover all those in the review. You can just hit all the fine points.
Sure. Here we go. Let's open up the box here. So we do have ourselves right here a little guide, the basic user's guide.
Quite a bit of stuff in there.
Absolutely. Then we do have a software application which covers all the extensive features that we do have, including OC-Genie, how to use the control center, things like that. We do have an extensive number of cables for your SATA devices, as well as a SATA power cable connector. This right here is actually for your USB 3 for the rear panel, so we do have an additional port on the board. Go ahead and take it out of the package
all the way, Rich. Even show the audience what we've got here.
And let me tear that out here.
They seem to like it when we take everything out and show it to them.
Cool. So as you'll see here, this is kind of a back plate over here with 2 USB 3.0. And also you'll notice that there's a unique connector which will fit right onto the motherboard, and it's color coded. So that's an additional feature. You also have the these are kind of like the M keys, which you allow to place right on top of the board itself and do all your connections from your case.
Yeah, that actually goes into right where you connect your cables to your
Correct.
motherboard.
It makes it a less stressful of an experience.
Yeah, it's basically a guide to how to plug in your things from your case.
Absolutely. We do have an all-black I/O shield. Looks really nice and fancy with this cool motherboard. As well as we do have an SLI cable in here for your NVIDIA solutions. And we do have a crossfire cable as well, which I believe maybe fell to the bottom here. And we do have more. And these leads are actually for on the board itself. There's a voltage checkpoint, and you can plug these in and tie in a digital multimeter and get real-time voltages. So
that's excellent. Okay, that's for really extreme overclocking.
Yeah.
Testing your board at how your power is going.
Your driver and utility CD. This also has our Winky 3 software, so you boot into this.
I'm Winky.
CD. Yeah, and then you also have your quick installation guide, which is pretty standard.
Oh, that's quite a bit of stuff.
And here we have our fancy looking board. Of course, let's get that out of the anti-static bag.
Yeah, I'll put all this stuff in a little bit better order so we can show the audience at the end everything that comes in the box.
Absolutely. Let me just place this right over here. And let's take a nice little look at this board here. So first things first, you'll notice that the 2 major heat sinks we have here mentioned to the Military Class 2 as well as the OC-Genie 2. OC-Genie is right here. It's this button. It's a one-touch overclock. All you do is push the button and you're good to go with overclocking.
Now these ones over here, these are also your auto start and your auto restart button for those overclockers who use their board outside of a case,
Correct.
Right?
Absolutely, yes. And then you'll also notice right over here this red connector. This is actually just a regular USB 2 connector, but that allows you to use the supercharger functionality. And supercharger just means you can add more power to that to charge a tablet or charge your
Is it something that's automatic, or is it something you actually have to change in the BIOS?
There's a software. There is a software. There's that USB 3 connector to that back plate that I mentioned.
That's this right here. So this right here plugs into that right there.
Right into there, yep. And then you have your additional USB 3 ports. You also have 2 PCI Express, so you can do either SLI or Crossfire. You have
That's something new, by the way. NVIDIA finally decided, I guess, to jump on board with Intel and to actually work with them on this and allow this to happen.
Well, they've pretty much always allowed it. It's a little bit tougher on the AMD platform, considering their whole relationship there.
But it's still pretty good to be able to do SLI or Crossfire. I feel that option allows the user to make his choice of video card company that he wants to go with.
Absolutely.
And is not forced to go with one company or the other if he wants to have that type of situation.
Absolutely. We also do have the SATA 6 ports here, which are designated in white, and these do support RAID as well as the traditional SATA ports in black.
Now, I know a lot of users might think that these ports aren't good, but after CES next year, there are going to be SSD drives and other peripherals that actually work off this, so they'll be worth your time at that point.
Yeah, SSDs are going to benefit greatly, and that's going to help with boot up times and also launching, all your applications like games and stuff. Here's also that previously mentioned voltage checkpoint, which allows you to plug in your digital multimeter and get real-time voltages checked over here. And then let's go to the star of the show, which is the military class 2 stuff. And I just want to point that out around the CPU area. You'll notice it's very clean and very open for any type of extreme cooling.
Well, I think it's very nice too is that, all these things are so low. Like a lot of times some of the older motherboards, and somebody tried to put their heatsink on, their heatsink would actually hit these and damage these. So for overclockers and those people who want to do use a big old huge, fan that you can go buy from somebody like Thermaltake or Cooler Master, there's lots of room on here to put that on here. You won't be hitting anything. That's a really good thing about this motherboard. The design is really clean. That's what I like about it best.
Yeah, so these right here are actually the high C caps. These are these military class components. That's the key component of that. And it's made for extreme temperatures and also for power. It lasts 10 times longer than a traditional capacitor, so the lifespan of the board is definitely there. You'll also notice right next to those are these little chokes that are designated with SFC. And these are super ferrite chokes. These are traditionally used on high-end motherboards like our Big Bang X Power, and only for the extreme solution.
But they still get that on this motherboard that's geared for the mainstream.
Absolutely.
So this is a feature that actually started off on higher boards but has now trickled down to the mainstream.
Correct. Military Class 2 is about bringing the best of the best and trickling it down throughout the product line. So super ferrite chokes provide a dynamic power supply. One is for power efficiency for basic users who may not be overclocking. They see a 10% improvement. And for those that are overclockers and extreme overclockers, they're going to get a 30% power supply boost on that end.
Excellent.
So this dynamic switching really makes this the ideal component for these type of boards. And then of course around the board everywhere else you do have the made in Japan solid capacitors, which have been an industry staple for over 10 years.
Yeah, they're much better made than everybody, have a much longer life, and they don't explode like older ones that they used to
Correct.
use.
So essentially around the CPU area we're using the higher grade capacitors because we know that's where the overclocking potential is coming from. And around the rest of the board we can still use the current top end, which is the solid cap. And our competition is not utilizing any of these higher grade components around here, so that's what really stands out for MSI's build quality.
Cool.
And then let's take also a look back into the rear I/O.
It's very fleshed out.
It's a very extensive board, and this is just one of the models. We do have 2 higher end models coming out, which one will have 12 USB 3 ports, as well as 8 PCI Express ports.
And you were talking earlier when we did another video, you were talking about the THX sound.
So yeah, I mean that's just utilizing the same Realtek chip on board, but this software suite does help optimize that for you. And you'll see here that you do have your optical out and your coax, so you get the best out of that. You have your eSATA, your USB 3 ports, full HD audio, and you also have FireWire and your NIC port. Excellent. And also support, of course, legacy support for PS2 because, a lot of
Well, actually, what you want to mention also is this actually works for keyboard or a mouse.
Correct.
Actually, either. A lot of people don't know that, but it's actually for either one.
Yeah, just to kind of help people out, instead of using 2, we just have 1, since we figure at least most people should be moving on to USB peripherals.
Exactly.
But definitely, you know, again, we do provide all the options and we try to support all the features we can on these boards. So definitely we see this platform as a great mainstream upgrade platform for the Intel Sandy Bridge CPUs, and we definitely see ourselves providing.
Now, what is the NDA the date on that? This is the 5th or the 7th of next year?
It'll be, I believe, the 7th.
The 7th of next year?
Yeah,
so you folks, you know, if you were looking out, you'll see actually the reviews of these things hit next year. So we'll have the full review, all the specs, prices, and all that stuff at that time. So what you guys saw here today was basically a very first look at this new motherboard and what comes inside of its box. I want to give everybody just a warm thanks for having Rajiv here on our channel, and I really thank you for watching us, and we'll see you back on YouTube. Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays, guys.